to win in fantasy football, to win in anything in life, you're going to have to take chances. You're going to have to push the limits. You're going to have to get ballsy. On tonight's show, Bindles and I are joined by an extra special guest, a multi-sport drafthlete, a best ball thought leader, someone who says, scroll the F down, and sub to Badge Bros, Nez from the Badge Bros.
Because I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. Because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. Anywhere I want.
What's up, fellas?
Fellas, what's the word?
How we doing tonight?
Dude, I'm honored. I'm excited. I mean, that intro got me ready to rip some drafts and coming strong. I mean, that was inspiring.
Hell yeah. Bindles on mute as per usual, but we're feeling ballsy tonight. We're feeling good. We're happy to have you on. Your thoughts, Bindles?
Yeah, man, I'm excited, ready to draft. Hot best ball summer is real hot where I am right now, and I think we're gonna build a shipper. So I'm excited. Happy to have Nez here. Multi-sport draft elite, truly a ball knower in these streets, and I think something magical is in the air tonight.
You guys are too kind. You guys are way too kind. I am definitely itching, for more BRs during the MLB All-Star break. So this is a nice way to kind of fill my time. Is coming here with you guys.
There we go. We timed it up perfectly with the All-Star break. We flipped the switch in our brains. It's all football right now. You got training camp starting, a lot going on. And I think we're not quite at the peak of best ball summer yet, but we're getting close. Things are heating up, and we're drafting best ball teams pretty much every day. So glad to have you on, Nez. I wanted to congratulate you on some recent news. I heard that you were recently married to four tight end. Are the allegations true?
They are true. What you're hearing is not false. I, was doing a little experimenting in the $1 puppies. I had $101 burn in my pocket, and I said, let me do something that I literally never do, and that's draft a 4 tight end team. And I said, one's not enough. What if I do it 101 times in a contest? And I actually think that I had drafted some pretty decent teams. I think doing 4 tight end is obviously not totally advisable, but if you're gonna do it, it's easy to execute. It's like if you're doing it, you're obviously ripping 4 tight ends at the end of every draft. So for me, that made it easy for auto drafting because I didn't have to rank really any tight ends.
Nice.
For the first 50. I just didn't rank any. I was like, all right, I know my quarterback targets, my running back targets, my wide receiver targets. I know it's going to be a 2-6-6-4, and I just won't rank any tight end. I won't draft one. I will literally make my last 4 picks tight ends. And then I was like, okay, I have like 75% Dalton Schultz. Maybe I should rank a tight end or two. So then I started to rank tight ends, and then I actually kind of switched up my positional limits where I went from 2-6-6-4 to 2-7-5-4, and then continued to rip like 50 more from there, just doing an extreme zero RB or extreme, heavy wide receiver approach, which I think actually could be a pretty solid build type. Just nobody really has the balls, fellas, the balls to go out and try doing multiple 5 wide receiver teams like I did. So what you heard was true. I am married to 4 tight ends, but it was a quick marriage. It's been annulled, and if you see me back with that sleazy woman again, I promise. I'm off the sauce.
Incredible. Truly ballsy. Not only taking 4 tight ends, but a 2-7-5-4 build. I blows my mind. And next level strats. Always thinking one step ahead. Love to see it.
I really don't think it's like one. I don't think it's that bad. Truly, I wouldn't have like spent money on it if I didn't think it was like that bad. But 2, it was easy to execute via auto drafting, and I wanted to have a bunch of entries in this contest, so I was like, let me just try it. And yeah, I'm like, I like experimenting with this stuff and trying to find a way to auto draft in a way that's plus EV, so to speak.
For sure. I was actually
exclusively doing the 4 tight ends at the last 4 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it's very fun.
Yeah, for the most part. For my second run, I did, like I said, start to rank some tight ends, so I wasn't getting the same ones over and over and over. But for the most part, yeah.
I was just talking about this last night on stream. I started experimenting over the weekend with some auto drafting of just the puppy 2. I was on vacation over the weekend, and so I was, with family, and all that stuff going on, and so I didn't want to miss out. I want to get some volume into this puppy 2. Let me auto draft off my ranks a little bit, because I set my own ranks, and then I was noticing the first thing I noticed after my first batch was I just have every single tight end ranked behind like ADP essentially. And so it would draft an entire team and then it wouldn't have tight ends. So like until like the last picks, like you were saying, I updated my positional limits and that kind of helped a little bit, but I had to actually go through and like force tight ends, like you were saying, move them up a little bit just to even get some. So like I wouldn't even see a tight end until round 17 or 18, the way that I was doing it off my ranks. And kind of what got me there was during like when the Corgi came out, and it was like 4th of July weekend. I was at my parents' house celebrating the 4th of July. It was like the night before. It was like Thursday night. And I was going to draft the Corgi. I fall asleep. It's the first time I've ever auto drafted, like unintentionally, a team. And I wake up the next morning and this Corgi was fire, like an insanely fun team. The only catch was 1 tight end, because I hadn't even set my position, or I had my positional limits, but I just didn't have it the right configuration. So it's a banger of a team in the Corgi, but the tight end is Jawan Johnson, which it could work out.
What if?
Yeah.
What if?
Week 17 king.
So
then I wanted to put it to the test. How good are my ranks? Can I actually auto a couple puppies and let's see where those go? So I'm going to follow those ones throughout the year. But,
I will say, just to like kind of like spin off that, I do think like if while we're being ballsy and just kind of talking about Galbrain stuff, but like I don't even think that this is like too Galbrain. But like if you're doing a traditional best ball format where weeks 1 through 14 of the regular season, I do think the way that tight end scores and how it's really like not a very high scoring position, like you could probably advance with a single tight end of Bowers, Kittle, or McBride. Now, obviously, that kind of leaves you extremely thin for the playoffs. But like, if you're spending that capital at tight end, you're kind of hoping that those guys are like doing enough in the playoffs anyhow. So like, I think on the flip side of that, you could do single tight end auto draft and just like give yourself like Bowers at 12, a ranking of Bowers at 12, or like in a ranking of like bump those guys up. So like you're guaranteeing that you are getting a tight end at 1, because you won't draft more than 1 if you set their limits that way. So I think that there's fun ways to kind of toy with auto drafting and stuff.
For sure.
If you have the bankroll for it.
Yeah. It just to get different, mix it up, test the ranks, all those kind of things, different team builds. The one thing, sometimes I would luck into correlation. Like over the weekend, one of my puppies was a Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack that was really nice. It was like the core of the team. And then another team had Love with, I want to say it was Golden and Romeo Dobbs. So like some things just naturally kind of stack up, which is kind of cool to see. And then maybe it gets you some unique combinations in your own portfolio is what I was getting at, because typically I wouldn't have a team where it's like Justin Jefferson with Dak Prescott. But in this one, I do. Like, and maybe in some of these auto drafts, it kind of comes together that way. And maybe that's honestly not a bad thing, just to mix in every once in a while. Yeah,
at least like, it's not like you said, it's something you wouldn't really do consciously. And for me too, on top of like the other added bonus was like I'm not doing a lot of zero RB right now. And that was like, oh, well, I'll for sure be doing zero RB here because I have wide receivers push up really high, and I know I'm for sure drafting 7 or even 8 running backs sometimes. So like, yeah, just a way to kind of toy with your portfolio, give yourself different textures of teams that you normally wouldn't. And I didn't have to spend a whole lot of time to do it, which, for me, time is this is new for me. Now that I have a child, time is like gold for me right now.
No
So,
doubt.
yeah, I gotta use it wisely.
So a couple things about the different tournaments out right now. I mean,
Mhm.
Underdog has been blessing us this week. The last couple of weeks, we've had super flex tournaments. We've had all different types of sizes of tournaments, different entry fees. What are some of the things that have been coming out recently that you're kind of keyed in or focused in on? Is there a specific tournament that you're really hyped up about this season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like in the middle of 75 puppy superflex slows right now. I didn't get a chance to get those in before the contest closed, and I kind of realized a little too late. I was like, "Ah, man, I think that like I don't think people are drafting this right. So let me just like let me get in to this contest at a max level because it's 100K to first. That's obviously huge and way bigger than last year's superflex puppy. So I was like, there's like a pretty
Right.
strong edge here, in my opinion, and a lot of money to try to win. So Superflex has been something that I've been really, really excited about. Now,
Right.
like I said, time is a premium for me at the moment. So I don't think I'm going to hop into the golden or the German Shepherd right now, but that is like a really cool contest out right now as well for the Superflex people. It's a 20 max $5, but I'm really into the Superflex, and I get that it's not appealing, right? I didn't want anything to do with Superflex last year, but like, I don't know what changed. Maybe it's the fact that like I have a child to provide for now. I'm like, I need to find an edge. And
Ooh.
to me, I felt like there's a ton of edge in Superflex, but I'm noticing these rooms change as I move further and further into these drafts. Like I'm seeing running backs go way earlier than they did before. Before, like running backs are just way too cheap in Superflex, but I'm starting to notice a shift.
Interesting. And did you enter them all at the exact same time, or are some of them in round 2 and some are in round 10?
I think I entered probably, dude. I think like the largest batch I entered at once was 75.
Wow.
What I'm working with right now, or no, I think it's more like 70. I'm looking at a completion bar right now that's almost finished. So more than I've ever entered at once. I'm normally pretty good about like batching. I'm a slow draft guy right now, but like typically I
Yeah.
batch, so it doesn't feel so like when you're drafting from the same spot of a draft like 60 times, you do sort of like lose your sense of self.
Yeah, they all blend
Get lost
together,
in the
yeah.
sauce a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, Romeo Dub, sure, whatever.
12 times in a row. Dobbs. Whoop, that was pick 120. Well,
Yeah, what about you? What's got your eye right now? Anything outside of regular best ball?
I really like the Eliminator this year. I think
Ooh,
the
great answer.
Eliminator is super cool format. It's terrible for bankroll management. It's terrible for return on investment. It's not very EV because we don't have any data on it, but it's pretty appealing to me. It's fun. It looks
Oh, come on, man.
exciting.
How is it? Yeah, the entertainment level of that shit is just off the charts. Off the charts. It's like weekly winners, but like up to 10 because like your sweat is so like easy to sweat. You know what I mean? It's right in front of your fucking face. It's you versus somebody else every week. But you're not wrong about like the edge component or the turning $1 into more dollars. But goddamn, is it not just a blast? It looks like it will be a blast, I should say.
I love drafting them. I love drafting with guests. I love galaxy braining on what it could be, all the content that's come out, whether it's from, Pete had put out his recent Eliminator video, and there's a bunch of others. I've seen you draft a bunch of Eliminators as well, people doing them on stream. It's super fun to listen to what everyone is thinking about this new head-to-head contest, and I'm excited for it. I'm not excited for week 2 when I open up and 60% of my teams are dead because I'm going to have worse than the field advance, and it's like shit. But I'm probably going to do a decent amount. I'm interested. I'm holding off. Neil was on with Bindles and I, and he was telling us he's got an eliminator strategy that's behind his paywall, but he was giving us some insights, feeding us some tips. And one of his big things between us three, one of his big tips was not to enter too many eliminators before August, because the amount of information you'll gain will really benefit you. And then once you're getting into these head-to-heads, you're going to be matched up against other teams who might have drafted the day before the contest closed. And they might just have, Quinshon Judkins, he's suspended for the entire year, commissioner list. And you don't want to be drafting Quinshon up until, on half of your teams up to that point. So his tidbit was just kind of, it's because the advance hits in week 1 versus week 14, there's like an actual big difference in the timing that you might want to be drafting these based on his kind of plus minus EV math.
Yeah, he had a lot of success last year in the Eliminator. So it's really cool to kind of listen to his thoughts on it. Like you said, it's really fun to get all these opinions on this format and help your own builds. I fully agree. Right, like it totally makes sense. In the Eliminator, you want to have the most information possible, so you have as few zeros as possible in your lineup. It seems to be extremely crucial. But the contest is filling fast. Like how long will it last into August? I'm not entirely sure. I know my game plan is like I do want to max it because I think that is just so. I like we talked about. I just think it's going to be so much fun, and I'm in this for fun, and if I make money, that's a bonus. Have yet to do that in best ball history, so we'll see what happens there. But my plan of attack is to hit it with slows. I'm gonna probably be a slow draft guy for the Eliminator and use those slow drafts to accumulate more information on these teams as these drafts go on. Just because it's going to be hard to max the Eliminator and max BBM, which is my plan. So I think I'm going to be a big slow draft guy for the Eliminator.
Yeah, that seems like a good strategy for sure. Yeah,
it's just nice to be on the clock, man. Like when this Judkin news hit, like I'm such a sweaty bastard about it. I just go in, I'm like, all right, is Samson okay? Like let me grab Samson. Like I'm on at any given point these days, I'm on the clock in 20 different slows. So when some news like that hits, I can't help but overreact.
Totally. Before we get into our next segment for the ballsy take of the week, Nez, I wanted to ask you how your golf season's going. Tomorrow is the Open at Royal Portrush. It's around the corner. I saw you in a bunch of the lobbies when we were drafting albatrosses and the scramble. How's your golf going right now? My
albatross dream died.
Mine did too.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. I took a huge hit round 1 because Justin Rose, right? Was it?
I know. Yeah, Rose is my most drafted player.
Well, okay. I don't want to offend. I mean, wow. So you must have crushed round 1.
You would think, but things happen in round 2, round 3, and I'm out. Didn't make it to the finals this year.
Did you advance a ton in round 1 though? Oh wow! Congrats. That's awesome.
It covered this year, but we'll see.
A lot to draft.
There's a lot of drafts out there.
Yeah, I'm in the scramble finals though.
Oh, I know you're in the scramble finals. You're one spot ahead of me right now on the leaderboard.
Oh, nice.
Holy
dude, there are some wagons in the scramble. I'm like, I've got no shot. It's any given week. Matt Dog and Hot Soup.
Hot Soup's definitely in first, and he's probably going to lock it down. In the Spike Week Discord, we were following Matt Dog. He advanced 70 out of his 150 teams. It was insane. And so the odds of him winning this in the before we even got to the finals for the scramble, the odds of Matt Dog winning it was 1 in 4 or something. It was insane.
What the hell?
Apparently he drafted.
What did he know?
We were looking at the data dumps. He drafted nearly the same exact team just 150 times, and then it hit. Yep. So that's variations, right? Because you don't get the same players, but yeah, man. No, I'm super stoked for the scramble. Kind of where you and I are sitting on the leaderboard. I think our best bet is to jump into the top 20, but I don't know if we can
Mhm.
push much higher than that. Top 20, top
Yeah.
15.
No, my best team right now is 39th, winning a cool grand. We'll take it. I just need I need
Yeah.
Michael Thor Bjornsson to do what I drafted 90% of them to do, which is play good golf. But I don't even know
Yeah.
when he plays again.
I had when Kevin Yu withdrew from, I think it was 2 weeks ago, withdrew, that kind of hurt. And then there's small things here and there, but it's a long season, man. It's a grind, the scramble. There's so much golf, so many tournaments, but super fun. And I love it. It's a good flip side of the NFL season. You get the golf actively going on. You're getting to sweat while we're drafting NFL. And then, the reverse, when the NFL's kind of wrapping up over, the golf starts drafting again.
Yeah, no, I've gotten way more into it as I've been on the dog app, and now I can name like way more golfers than I ever could. And like you said, those albatross sweats are
So
the
fun.
best.
I'm so jealous, man.
I know,
next
me
year.
too. We'll be back.
We'll be back. We're in the final for the scramble. That's actually really, really difficult to do.
You're right. We should be proud of ourselves.
We're proud. We're gonna min cash. No, better than that. Yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's do our ballsy take of the week. Nez, you're our extra special guest. You can either accept and go first, or you can defer to Bindles.
I'm gonna defer to Bindles because I need to refine this.
Perfect.
Because I want to see how hot you guys are going before I unload the clip on this take.
Perfect. Bindles.
Yes, sir. So my ballsy take of the week is, I think Drake May finishes as a top 4 quarterback this year. I think the running is just too good. He, scrambles a ton. They didn't really have that functional of an offense last year, and he still was kind of putting the team on his back. I think with the additions of Diggs, Kyle Williams, even Travion Henderson, obviously he's a running back, but still, I think the offense as a whole, it might not be like top 10 offense, but I think it'll be solid enough where Drake May is just going to, kind of go off this year. So that's my ballsy take of the week. And if I could do my own drafting, I think I would be pretty high, probably 24%, something like that. Like I want to be all in on him. And
No
Love
bullshit. That was going to be my take.
Oh no.
So I was going to take it to the next level. I got two for you. So here's my next level of that Bindles is like Drake May top 5 QB this season. And in conjunction with that, how does he get there? I've got Kyle Williams leading all rookie wide receivers in touchdowns this season.
Ooh, I like it.
That's how he gets there. That is a difference maker on the field. I understand that this is like you can get yourself in trouble by looking at a guy and falling in love with the film in college whenever like you have no idea how it's going to translate to the pros. But like I feel like I look at enough of these guys on film that like when you see something that like stands out, it really sticks with you. And for me, it was Kyle Williams' speed. I mean, this dude is a burner. And I think that this just adds an element to the Patriots offense that they really did not have. And I mean, Drake May is only, second year in the league, but just having, adding Diggs, adding Kyle Williams, adding Henderson, like you said, plus, the ability for Drake May to run with a coaching upgrade. No, I am all in on Drake May in the Pats this year.
Very nice.
Smart guy.
And Kyle Williams had, I think it's like 14 or like a dozen touchdowns in college last season on about, it's like 70 receptions. So he's proven to be a guy that is like a nose for the end zone. I think potentially that's been an element missing in the Patriots, receiving group or even their pass catchers. Hunter Henry, what do you have, like 2 touchdowns last season? And then the Mario Douglas. I'm not even sure exactly how many he had, but it was another low number. So we need someone who's got that spark, can actually have that connection for Drake May. And I mean, I'm starting to sour a little bit on Diggs. I was more hyped about drafting Stephon Diggs maybe a month or two ago, a good 2 months ago, and I don't click him as much anymore. I just don't see the full upside case that I was maybe dreaming up before the boat. Not that the boat did anything, but just kind of like time frame wise.
That's how you know he's a good wide receiver.
True. He's checking all the boxes, right?
That's what we need our wide receivers to be.
Maybe it's just like the age and the recovery, and then if I think about how is Drake May going to win and succeed, it's doing it on the ground, but then also it's maybe having like a new exciting target. And is that Diggs, or is that, like you're saying, like, is that Kyle Williams? Maybe Kyle Williams is the future. So.
I'm kind of coming around on Diggs a little bit. Like since that's my ballsy take is Drake May finishes top 4. Like I kind of think Diggs, it's still cheap enough where is he really that different than some of the guys that go like a Calvin Ridley or I don't know, like a Sutton or some guys in that range. Like I don't think it's that different. So I've been anti Diggs kind of this whole off season, but I don't know. I don't think it's the worst bet, and I'm kind of coming around on it full circle. So
I think it's a pretty easy, fade, right? Like 30-year-old guy tears his ACL on the Patriots. It's not sexy. History will tell you that that's a good fade. Like I don't blame you for that, but I will say I was like really impressed with how Diggs played before he was injured last year. He is like, a freak athlete. And I'm also a big into modern medicine and the way that these ligament surgeries have been improving and recovery time has been improving for athletes just across the board. So I like to take chances on stuff like that, but I don't think that you're like it's obviously like a pretty solid bet to bet against the 30-year-old guy coming off ACL surgery.
No doubt.
Fair, yeah.
We've entered a 20-second best ball mania. We're waiting on 2. I'll finish up my ballsy take of the week, and then we'll flip it over to the board. Waiting on 1 if you want to jump in. It's filled. There we go. I'll do it quick. My ballsy take of the week. Whatever happens with Quinshon Judkins, I don't know. Not going to speculate. But I think, this is a new idea for me. I've come around to it pretty much in the last 3 days. I think Jerome Ford, regardless of the situation with the rookies, he can finish as an RB2 and he can hit an RB1 weekly ceiling for you during the playoff stretch. So it's not Quinshon Judkins that we're going to be overly aggressively drafting anymore. It's not even Dylan Sampson. It's the old guy. It's the old veteran. It's the cheapest one by ADP. Rising, but still a great value. It's Jerome Ford. He's done it before. I think he can get you there. I think he's potentially the best all-around option, factoring in maybe intangibles in the Browns running back room. So that's where my head's at.
I just had to turn up my AC a little bit in here because that was hot. That is some spice, brother. I love it. I love where your head's at there. Not that I totally agree, but I think Jerome Ford he was not even draftable for me. Like
Same.
In this point in time, firmly draftable. As we kind of wait to see what takes place here with old QJ.
Let's kick it to the draft board. Well, it would help if I had the overlay up. Boom. Close enough.
Boom.
There we go. I think that works.
Nez, you look like you're
and we're on the clock, Bindles.
Oh shit.
McCaffrey, Neighbors, Nico, Amon-Ra. Nez, where are we going?
I mean, this is called ballsy. Let's do the ballsy thing and take McCaffrey.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
What were you about to compliment me, Bindles, or give me? Or
No, I was going to compliment you. I was going to say I think you just gained like 5 5 IQ points, switching
Yeah.
from the sunglasses to the round glasses. So you look
No
I
doubt.
had to have some frames on the face. You can't just like go from the sunglasses to nothing. So I'm gonna defend myself against the blue light demons that are the screens that I stare at every single day for 10 hours a day.
no, man, they look good. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And
Little
we're
Harry
back on
Potter
the
action.
clock. We took McCaffrey with the first pick. How do you like this in this range? AJ Brown, McConkey, Bowers, JT, feeling high T. Where we going, Nez?
I like an AJ Brown pick here.
Yeah.
I think my
Going as
RNG right now has not led me to a lot of this start here. Like I don't have a lot of AJ Brown at the moment, so I'm into this start here.
I'm gonna pull up my combo tool from the best ball overlay, and let's see what my AJ Brown combo. I have it filtered just to my best ball manias. So then AJ Brown, I've never combined him with Christian McCaffrey, but I've got 12% exposure to him. So this is a unique build, kind of, for me too. And I wouldn't have expected that. I think across all tournaments, I've definitely done McCaffrey and AJ Brown, but just in my like 60 or so best ball manias, it's a new combo. Feels good.
Yeah, I saw you didn't have a ton of Brock Bowers, and I don't either right now. I think I was anticipating, hoping we would get a fall on Bowers.
7%.
So,
I need to get it up.
Well, I like where you're at. Like you got him at like so that's that you're getting him at pick 19 on average. Like he just went at pick 20 here. Like I think you were reading it correctly, as far as where to take Bowers. It's just tough, man. Like tight ends, like there's you only have to start one. There's 32 starting in the league. And it's just really easy to cobble together like tight end points, and just like throw shit at the wall and grab tight ends where all the other picks suck. So it's really to Brock Bowers' detriment that he's a tight end.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like I just feel like the teams at the end when you take those whether it's 3 tight ends, whether it's kind of like mid to late or 3 late, like just feel like they seem so much better. I mean, obviously that doesn't really mean anything, but
right.
I think that's also like we're not taking a ton of Bowers.
Breece Hall goes pick 29 in this room. Sorry to cut you off again and again, Bindles, and as the 20-second clocks, the rapid fire.
No, dude, this is the new reality we live in, man. Please, like we need somebody to take charge around here. So continue to talk over us and keep us on track. This is your entry.
I've been a point guard my whole life. Nothing, no surprises there. Trey McBride's available at pick 32. It just seems like a nice kind of faller, but where do you usually go here, Nez? Anyone else?
I take the fall. I take the fall of Trey McBride every day.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's an AU for sure. You got to take that. There's not, I think Brock Bowers is better, but as far as like range of outcomes go, you run this season over and over and over and over. How often does Bowers outscore McBride? Like 55-45? It's really not. It's really not that far apart.
Totally agree. 100%. Shout out to the boys in the chat. Thanks for being here. I didn't even take a quick look if anyone made it into this room. I think we swerved them a little bit, but sometimes it's good just to get a plus EV draft with some unknowns.
I thought Billy Latz would be one of you guys' viewers. Somebody that prides themselves on their back muscles. It's a great name. All right, sorry.
That's definitely one of Bindles' subs. We're back on the clock. I saw that Joe Burrow had already gone.
Wow.
I would think T-Mac. We can go DJ Moore.
T-Mac
how do you like
or Moore?
Nez?
T-Mac or Moore?
Let's go T-Mac. I'm pretty into that.
I in my own personal ranks, I've got T-Mac a good amount ahead of Moore, but I've soured on Moore a little bit, and I'm not too excited about the expensive pieces for the Chicago Bears. I like the cheaper pieces. I like the back stacking. I think it was Herzig who had kind of tweeted, or maybe it was in his
he tweeted. I saw this.
The back, and I think he mentioned it in his subscription, his newsletter too. Like you go Caleb, and then you take Burden and Loveland. That's kind of how I've been feeling about it the whole time too. And I'm coming around more on Odunze because I don't want to be 0% Odunze. I just want to be like more like 5% or just below 8%. So I'm going to work that back in. But for DJ Moore, I'm not like super excited. It's pretty ambiguous. It's a pretty flat tier of receivers in my mind for the 4th round. So I'd rather take an upside swing on T-Mac, we could be drafting him in the 1st or 2nd round next year.
No, 100%. Like he's in a situation where he can see 120 targets off the rip, and maybe, you know, do something special with them. I'm a big fan of Bryce Young, so
Nice.
I think he's better than what he's put on tape, and you know, he showed a little bit of, you know, of that upside late last season. So I'm excited for T-Mac and him. With the Bears, man, I just wish I'm with you. I wish the Bears were cheaper. I really do. But I think that there's a chance that these guys smash and pay off their ADP and then some, right? Like I don't think that it's out of the question to be like, wow, like we flipped the cards over, and, you know, DJ Moore with Ben Johnson in Chicago with like one of the best offensive lines in football. DJ Moore was worth a 2nd round pick, and Rome Odunze was worth a 4th round pick, or, you know, something like that, where these guys have the chance to absolutely smash. But it is a costly investment, and you know how much like I feel like the market is slightly double counting, you know, the Ben Johnson
Always.
edition.
100%. Yeah.
Always double counting, always undercounting. That's just how we do it in the best ball streets. Back on the clock here, ADP would point us to Waddle or Ridley or Kamara.
Waddle here seems pretty decent. Pick 56. Everybody was really excited about Waddle. Sans Jonnu, getting him past ADP in this economy seems like a smash.
I like it. Just kind of peeking at what we've cooked up so far. Through our first 5 picks, we took McCaffrey, AJ Brown, T-Mac, Jalen Waddle, and Trey McBride. I don't think we have like an insane amount of just off the bat correlation, but we've got some really nice pieces. And so let's just keep cooking and see where we go. As far as our stacking options for quarterback, we didn't have a chance to get Hurts, but we've got some late options and maybe a mid option too with to pair up with our 3rd round pick in McBride. Coming back around, Odunze goes. That would have been maybe a nice one for us, and some other receivers, some other running backs. We're back on the clock here. Nez, who do you usually pick between like a Harvey or a Henderson, or are you still thinking wide receiver in this range?
This is a really tough range for me, but I think we go upside with Harvey.
Yeah.
So we're on Ballsy. This is a ballsy take here with Harvey. But I think with McCaffrey's start, like we told ourselves McCaffrey is having a great season, right? And so when you have McCaffrey great season, you have like one of the best fantasy players ever. And with that, we should be taking upside swings in that running back position, because he is like giving us that insurance to like insulate, you know, maybe some ups and downs. Maybe Harvey is awesome, but like he still has Dobbins in his side to start. So that gives us an ability to like, you know, maybe advance a Harvey team where he's actually a below advanced piece across the board.
No doubt. I think perfectly well said. In this universe, in this draft, we're got ourselves into, McCaffrey is the best running back. Again, back to his former glory. And we can float Harvey, even though maybe he's a little bit expensive in the 6th round, but it's a killer offense to be a piece of, to have a piece of the run blocking that the offensive line for the Broncos is going to be putting together. If Harvey is, you know, any good at all, he should be able to thrive. And we know from his college days, he's got a nose for the end zone. He's a good, he's good at, you know, converting some big plays, and kind of an electric player too. Pretty exciting. So that's a fun pick there. And I think we're in a good spot too, because typically in like the back end of the 7th round or like the early 8th round, there's some nice receivers there too. Good wide receiver 4 kind of values, but you might have to reach a little bit for some of the running backs who typically, like we see Pacheco and DeAndre Swift have been going higher and higher, right?
Yep. And in this room too, man, like Mahomes just goes,
right.
QBs are going to be flying off in this room, and running backs are also going to be going early in this room too. I mean, it's just what happens. This is, as we get closer to the start of the season, these rooms get wonkier and wonkier. And so for me, it's like, okay, do we want Kyler or not? We can push him, I think.
You think?
Does anybody have Marv?
Yeah,
right side.
the right
So,
side of us, actually, right? 34. So I think you're
we
right.
take Kyler here. What do you think?
I kind
And
of
stack with McBride.
I think we try to push him for sure.
I think we go
Okay.
Golden or Mooney. We could do Diggs. I like. What do you have a?
I love Golden. I love Golden.
Okay,
Me too.
We love Golden too.
Let's take him, and then we get bailed out if this guy ends up taking Kyler. And it really, us talking about it really bears no weight because it's not like he would get Kyler in round 9, right? It's like he's either taking him here or he isn't. But this left side of the board, man, is crazy.
I think
Absolutely crazy.
I think I think it'd be smart if we look ahead at the players we've drafted. We have outs with Love, Tua, Bryce Young.
Yeah, good point.
And Purdy. We definitely can take Kyler at 89 and just say, like, he's our guy. It's him and McBride. That's the combo we need. And I'm not afraid of that either because Kyler has like a rushing upside and he could be unlocked in that way. Man, you called it, though. He does go with Kyler at pick 87.
Yeah, no big deal. Like you said, we got a ton of stacking options.
Wow. Yeah, so we're good there. But I'm kind of surprised. I honestly thought he would still be available. Okay. Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson, Pittman, Higgins. You got to lean there?
I like Aaron Jones.
Cool.
I'm warming up to Brian Robinson. I think that he has a chance to like amass a shit ton of touchdowns if the Commanders are just kicking ass this season. But I like Aaron Jones. I'm holding the line on Aaron Jones, man. Like Jordan Mason is creeping up fast on him, and I hope they flip. It will just make my day if these two.
Now, did you tweet today that about Aaron Jones? I forget who it was.
I did. Yeah, I did. I said we're half a puppy two away from them flipping because that's what happens when puppies get released. There's so much liquidity in ADP that affects ADP compared to like BBM, and the freaks that draft the puppy like have these takes at like, oh, Jordan Mason is like a year younger than Aaron Jones and he's gonna have goal line carries because Crack Rock said so. Like, yes, like you have to draft Jordan Mason ahead of Aaron Jones. It just affects ADP so strongly because that's just how it's weighted.
This 20-second pick clock is ripping along, but Nez, would you like to give us a quick review of the players we've drafted so far?
Yeah, just a quick rundown here.
Sure.
CMC, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, this running back room, solid. Wide receiver, AJ Brown, T-Mac, Jalen.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
Look at Tetaroa, man. Look at Tetaroa. Oh my God, man. What a
And then we followed it up with
Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
Matthew Golden.
Ocean Wisner's already in the backfield. Play action.
What the hell? 2.5 my speed exotic Spanish Kelly. What the hell?
Golden makes the catch.
Short version tonight with a 20-second clock. We got to get through these clips quick.
Yeah.
We're on the clock. And let me pop back over here. Double check the QBs. We could take Purdy, which I sometimes lean to do with McCaffrey. Otherwise, it's like Burden.
Yeah.
I think he might be there at their next pick. Do you want to try to push him maybe? We're
Coleman or Burden, or we'll do your Purdy thing. I'll trust you.
My bad.
I'll trust you on the Purdy thing.
I should have given you a better view of the board. Our next pick will be 113. Damn, Burden does go. That's my bad.
Yo, Burden went, I think on Nez, you with on what's it called? Typhel Tower, he fell to like what 129 or something.
Well, because I was on there with Best Ball Guy, and he, and people just oppo trade whatever Best Ball Guy says when they're on the Typhel Tower because they bully the fucking shit out of him, and then people buy into it, and then they fade whatever he says. The poor guy.
The poor guy.
Hashtag Team BBG.
Team BBG, man.
Team BBG.
Put some respect on my guy's name. All right, so
off right now with no good view of the board. My bad. Burden does go. This RK Seal player has been stealing all of our picks, but I thought for sure Burden would be available at pick 113, before ADP. Coming back around, we've got a 1-3-4-1 build. We just took Purdy as our stack with McCaffrey, QB partners in this range, I don't think there's anyone we really need. So we're
Yeah, I
looking
think we
back
could,
at wide receiver, probably to get our 5th wide receiver, or maybe another running back.
Yeah. Let's see here. These running backs are about to go. So like Scattaboo, Sharps for like the upside. What
Would
do
you want
guys
Sharps over Scattaboo?
Or Kyle Williams, but we probably don't want to pull him up, right? Oh, his ADP is way down there.
Scattaboo
Yeah,
or
we could
Sharps?
probably get him on the way back. I'm cool with Scattaboo. I saw you had a ton of him, so it looks like that was going to be no problem for you to add another to the portfolio.
Yeah, I'd like to even it out a little bit more. Drafting these rookies and sophomore tournaments, which I've done a good amount so far. I think I've done 25 of them, and it's been open for like a day. They go so quick. Tracy and Scattaboo are both available in that format, and so I've come back to, it's like, in that format when you can only draft 12 players, there's some scarcity to like the available options. It makes me realize like the difference between Scattaboo and Tracy in that format. It's not like not a ton. Tracy still goes earlier than Scattaboo. I like the upside with Scattaboo, where I think he's just a better player. But I think realistically in year one for him, it could be somewhat of a split workload with Tracy. So I think I probably need to balance it out and not be all in on Scattaboo and all out on Tracy. Maybe get just a little bit more like 60-40 or even like 65-35 instead of 95-5 kind of for myself. How have you been playing it, Nez?
I just recently have been converted into like a Tyrone Tracy drafter. So
Okay.
I was doing a ton of Scattaboo, and now I'm transitioning back into a Tracy Bowl. I think Tracy's good.
You're detransitioning?
Not to get political. I think Tracy's good, dude. I think Tracy's good, and I think he has a different skill set than Scattaboo, where like he has like much better long speed. Scattaboo, I didn't see like much long speed. I don't know.
That's one thing he doesn't have is long speed for sure.
Yeah, but he can catch a football.
Wait, who doesn't have long speed?
Cam
Sorry.
Scattaboo.
I'd roll the clip, but we're back on the clock, and a lot of players have gone. A lot of quarterbacks available here would be like Njoku or Mondre, Christian Kirk. We kind of
any receivers that we even want to think about here. Kirk, yeah.
I don't mind.
I like. Yeah, let's get Kirk for some early season production for sure.
That's a good call.
Just with the rookies that we have, I think it's probably smart to kind of bake in some lower scores early in the season here.
We should be really decent right now at running back with McCaffrey, Harvey, Jones, and Scattaboo. The receivers, I think it's a good time to bounce back and say, okay, Kirk, like you said, could help us with the 2 rookies we've got, give us some early season production, or just be like a decent, pick. Kirk was going in the 4th round last year, and then of course disappoints, has the injury, but I think he's a little bit slept on. Man, I was surprised to see Love go. Love's gone. We can still get Young and or Tua with our next picks, but I think this one we can't
give in. We can't give in here. Like these guys should come back, and if they don't, then respectfully fuck this room. I like Kyle. I like Kyle.
He's not there. It's kind of to me, it's like a little clip. I guess we're on the clock, so that makes sense. We can get him.
I like it. I like it for this room. He just seems like a really good best ball pick, man. Like I know that like the early reports are not gonna be bullish on Kyle Williams. I can already tell you. They're gonna always not run him with the ones. Matt Collins, who is like the best locker room vet of all time, is like running with the ones over Kyle Williams. Like that's okay. That's okay, because you just got to trust that Kyle Williams is good and he will see the field. It's either going to work or it isn't, right? Like that's the bottom line.
Many are saying we're not playing for week 1, so
a great one.
I think it's okay.
You're right.
Williams isn't playing.
You're right. Yeah, fading Kyle Williams over camp reports is definitely week 1 brain, but that's not to say you shouldn't try to push it a little bit once those reports come out, if and when that is.
Absolutely. Yeah, you read my mind.
Yeah.
I'm just sad we didn't get to roll any Steelers clips. I had two two in there.
Well, I was curious, like,
have a good one too.
Nez, who are some of the Steelers picks you've been liking to draft? Like, are you, now that Rodgers is there, did that change much? Like, are there certain best ball picks on the Steelers that you think are maybe undervalued or drafting more of?
Wow. Well, not really. I just think that they are set up to run like a very slow offense that kills a lot of clock and just like beat teams with defensively, have Rodgers move the chains, run the ball, and grind games out is really how I see it. But it's hard not to see DK Metcalf with the way that this.
Bitch, yeah, bitch, yeah. Bitch, I'm locked in like. Bitch, I'm locked in like a prisoner. EOC scoring, y'all can't stop the visitors. Baby, try my name, ringing bells like a.
And we're back on the clock.
No, we got the Babytron cut off. Okay, what do we got going?
I think Bryce or two. Well,
Yeah.
well, I would lean
Yep.
Bryce just with the draft capital, or do we go Tua first?
No, we go Bryce first.
Yeah, I think with T-Mac, you just lock it up.
Yeah, because we don't have any Tyreek drafters next to us, but who knows, man? This room has been absolutely just like on one. But usually,
That's true.
okay, dude,
RK Seal has been destroying us, and then we do have to think about the bye week combo with Purdy and Young. Whoops.
No, dude, no.
We'll
Did he
backstack
just do naked Tua?
I think he's got Achan right.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
we've been outsmarted 3 times by RK Seal. 2 of them my fault.
That's on me.
Half
I should.
I'll take part ownership for that one too. But
That's
tough,
okay.
tough out here in these best ball streets. 20-second clocks. It's aggressive. People
Well,
sniping left and right.
On the bright side, fellas, I hope you like Bryce triples because that's what this team is
Hell yeah.
is lining up for.
Xavier Leggett is dating Glorilla, so you know.
Leggett was drafted already. He went like
Oh,
10
really?
picks ahead of ADP.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get out the snow. I think.
Oh, I know what that means. Should we take Stafford or Geno with this next pick so we don't get buried by the QB avalanche? We could do
thinking.
something late with either one of them, but just kind of open to your thoughts.
I think
there.
I think we push this and try to
Okay.
get
Yeah, I
creative
think
at
so.
quarterback.
Is there a running back or a tight end or a receiver we have to have here? then?
Thielen, Bigsby.
I like Thielen or Bigsby as well.
Okay. Thielen's
go
a decent
Thielen.
pick. Tight ends, I don't see like an obvious choice for us. We have McBride.
Oh, I see an
still.
obvious choice. He's just not on the screen yet.
Okay. Okay.
I think with this
I know what
Bryce
you're
pick,
saying.
man. Yeah, like Bryce QB2, like I think it's smart because the stacking partners are so cheap, and it's just like if Bryce is hitting and these guys are having a good season, like it's just like such an easy way to cobble like really good usable weeks with for so cheap.
No doubt. We've made it through 14 rounds. We've got a 2-4-7-1 build, and I feel very strong about the receivers we've got. So, maybe we tack on one more for an 8th, or we just keep what we've got. Otherwise, because we're probably not going to go 3 tight end necessarily, but we definitely are thinking 3 QB at some point. Then we're looking for maybe like, I could imagine like a 3-6-7-2, or maybe like a 3-5-8-3 type of build in our future.
You know what's really crazy, man? Last season, Adam Thielen had 2. I mean, I'm looking at full PPR. Adam Thielen was better than people realize.
Yeah, he was
last
still
year.
good, man.
He did not.
He's ageless. He's an ageless wonder. He's a scratch golfer. He's got it all. I mean, great sunglasses.
Nobody wants this fucking guy, and all he does is just come out here and just do the damn thing. I want to check half PPR. How many did Adam Thielen have a 20-point game at the end of last year? Because like that would just be too funny. He had one 20-point game, and it was in week 17, and I mean Chris Olave has never had a 20-point half-point PPR game. So Adam Thielen better than Chris Olave, confirmed.
There we go.
That's pretty
That
cool.
easy. Quarterback wise, it's Rodgers or Darnold. Darnold could be kind of interesting. Are you one or the other, or you think we keep pushing?
No, I like Darnold.
It's kind of think that one's
he's a week 17 he's week 17 correlated. I'm more in on Darnold than other people are.
Let's do it.
We can
he had
stack
a great
them up
season
late,
last
too,
year.
yeah.
I mean, was it because of KOC and the Vikings? Was it Darnold just showing a little bit more of his potential, kind of maturing in the league? Who knows, right?
I know, right? Like I obviously like KOC, I think is like a huge reason as to why he played so well. But I don't necessarily think that his offensive environment is awful in Seattle. And I don't think that all of a sudden he's just going to be like super, super bad now that he's away from the Vikings. I don't think you do what he did and just like have a fall off, and I'm not, I don't know. I'm not worried about Milroe. I don't think Milroe is a threat to Darnold. I think Milroe is just a cool backup, and that's it.
Are you a Roschon drafter?
I'm warming up to Roschon.
This far past ADP, Rico Daddle's there for a team stack. Wide receivers, I don't know if there's anything we need to take advantage of.
Let's do Roschon.
Roschon.
Yeah, so I think so. I had to kind of come to grips with my Roschon take, which is like, I think he's bad. Right. I don't think he's a good running back.
Agree.
But like that might not matter. He could be, if the Bears are good, he could be the goal line guy because they kind of used him like the goal line guy last year. Like he had way more touchdowns than I remember him having last year. So like,
yeah,
that's really all he needs to do is like be Jamal Williams and score touchdowns. And if he's doing that, there's a chance that, he's doing that at a high clip if the Bears are good. So I'm coming around to it, man. Sometimes you just kind of have to think about like, I'm talking to myself here, your takes but also think about how guys get home. And like Roschon doesn't need to be like this awesome running back to get home. He could score a bunch of touchdowns and that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty binary. It's just like, does he score 10 touchdowns or not? And that's pretty much it. And he goes late enough where it's like, okay, it's fine. Like
exactly. Yeah. You could honestly just use him as like a guy that hits your lineup sometimes, as opposed to like this guy that is all of a sudden a star. I mean, maybe he does emerge in that. And I'm just like mega humbled once again. But I just don't think that Roschon has that type of ceiling.
We get some value here. It's correlated. I would agree. We were looking for a Chicago piece kind of the whole draft, but I agree with your thesis. Like he's never been a big piece of anyone's offense, whether it was in college at Texas or if it was in the NFL. Maybe he's a goal line back. He's got size. So let's just cross our fingers and hope. I just posted something on Twitter. Ryan Seal, who is in the 10 spot, 43 minutes ago, he tweeted a picture of him drinking a beer and watching the stream. So we have been getting sniped on all of these picks.
Well, he's going to get swatted while drinking a beer because he didn't reveal himself in the chat. So, that's international law.
Is that a fun bit you guys do? You swat people that don't hang out in the chat and post.
Imagine Bindles showing up to your front door looking for a confrontation. Are you? All right. I'd be intimidated. Back on the clock. Do we take JT Sanders here before it gets too late?
Yeah. Is the Pope Catholic? Come on.
Oh, is he now? Because I know he's from Chicago. He's a White Sox fan. Is he Catholic these days? Some really different popes. He's American. I know that.
Bear shit in the woods. How's that?
Perfect. No, well, does Roschon Johnson shit on our fantasy team? Maybe.
I think we're getting. We're getting 3 touchdowns from CMC and then 2 touchdowns from Roschon week 17. Book it. Win for all the money. Let's do it.
Nez, how do you think about grabbing a Seattle piece like Horton, MVS, or Arroyo? Or do you think we just take the leg up suggestion to go naked QB with Darnold and take a better option like a Keenan Allen, Adonai Mitchell, or any other player really?
I think it's like a fair question. Like, do you need to stack Darnold? And I don't think that you have to, but also like, who else are we going to take here? Sure. And I kind of lean MVS, but yeah, I would be fine with anything.
Your call. It's our team. Let's go.
Yeah,
what do you got? MVS?
Oh yeah,
I'm down with it.
I don't think it's terrible. He's kind of underwhelming when I was looking into his stats maybe yesterday. Like he just never as many targets as you might think, but he doesn't need a whole lot of targets to get there. He's playing again with Kubiak, who had a career year with on the Saints. So there's a little bit of magic there, going to Seattle and getting to play with Kubiak. And then I think in Seattle, obviously there's Cup, there's JSN, Target Hogs. There could be a spike week or two from MVS. I think we can almost count on maybe a 1 or 2 long touchdowns optimistically. Maybe one of those happens in week 17 and does something good for us, or it kind of fills in our bye weeks too, because just another depth piece. I think we're really solid at running back and an early receiver, and then obviously with McBride, the elite tight end, you don't need too much depth there. I think we played it well with leaving ourselves options. That was more of a luxury pick, I like to call it. Just whatever fits. We could just take any player there just to swing.
Darnold was a pretty good deep passer last year, actually. I mean, obviously that's somewhat situation related, and he had Addison and JJ and whatever, but I can see it happening.
I'm into it, man. Like I just think that the price is, the market's way too certain that Darnold isn't good or that he's going to get benched, and I like betting the opposite of that for a ADP of 176. Like, sure thing, man. I'll take that. And I think Carolina in week 17 too. Maybe they surprise me, but I think Carolina is going to be a team you want to play against quite a bit this season.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do a little, Nez, I'd love for you to give us like a rundown of this team, just your thoughts as we look through it.
Yeah. All right. The little Brock Purdy, Bryce Young, Sam Darnold action, 3 QB room. I've never seen a 3 QB room that I don't like. So this is already off to a good start. CMC, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, Cam Scattaboo, Roshan Johnson here. This is a very well put together running back room, 5 running backs, but all these guys I think have nice roles. Roshan, for as cheap as he was, like we just need him to fall into the end zone. But with CMC bet, we just have the ability to do things like take RJ, take Scattaboo, and Aaron Jones too, man. I'm going to draft Aaron Jones till he retires. So this is a really nice RB room. Wide receivers: AJ Brown, Teteroa McMillan, Jalen Waddle, Matthew Golden, Christian Kirk, Kyle Williams, Adam Thielen, and then MVS. I mean, this is how you draft contextually, guys. This is like, for every rookie, we have a chaperone. For every spiky chaperone, for every spiky wide receiver we've got a veteran here. So we just are we're mixing and matching. We're ping ponging at the wide receiver position, and at the end of the day, we're kicking ass. This is a really nice wide receiver room. And then we finished with Trey McBride and JT Sanders for the stack. I mean, and we have Trey McBride to boot. Like, this team is just like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This team is just like not that fair.
It feels pretty good. It feels like we're winning at every position. Definitely winning at running back and tight end. The receivers, there's no holes there. And then the QBs, we're cobbling it together. But like you were saying earlier, we expect big things from Bryce Young. They're loading him up with weapons. He can continue to take a step forward. Former first overall pick. Hey, Sam Darnold, also a former first overall pick. And maybe he's a little bit discounted. Brock Purdy, we know is good, can have a good season. And so maybe QB is the one position group where we're not like killing our competition in this room, but I think we're good enough. And so when you're really strong at 3 of the position groups, the QB is good enough. That's kind of how I like to build teams, not to be too overly allocated into any positional group with draft capital. I think we did a solid job here.
I love it, man. I love this team.
Nez, there's one question. So we Bindles and I, we go to the Discord, we ask for some fan mail, some like fan questions, right? And there was consensus this week, surprisingly. The question that everyone wants to know, everyone wanted to ask Nez, everyone's wondering, pancakes or waffles?
That's what they want to know?
Pancakes or waffles, Nez?
No context, just straight up pancakes or waffles. Pancakes.
Any reason why? There's no wrong answer. Everyone loves pancakes. Everyone loves waffles.
I think pancakes are more consistently enjoyable.
There it is.
That's fair.
He's a
It's
man
harder-
of consistency, a man of few words. Pancakes.
Are you guys tricking me?
This is what people wanted.
They were clamoring for your waffles and pancakes take. I have another question for you, Naz. The Steelers running back situation. You said you weren't super excited about anyone on the Steelers offense, but how are you playing that between those two guys?
I definitely have more Warren than I have Caleb Johnson, but
Really?
yeah, I mean, I do think
I
that
don't think
Caleb
that's
Johnson
bad.
is going to assume like the Najee role. I do think that. I don't think that Jaylen Warren is going to be taking on any additional work that he doesn't have to, just because that's just not how he's built. That's not how he's best utilized. And I think the Caleb Johnson pick clearly like made that apparent that like, hey, this is an archetype of running back that's going to do what two down backs do, and that best suits Warren's ability to have big plays and to stay healthy is to not be on the field, more than he has to. But that said, Warren, catches passes. I just feel better about his range of outcomes than I do Caleb Johnson's, where I worry about Caleb, can he be efficient on the ground? Is he going to score touchdowns? If he's not scoring touchdowns, then obviously he's really not that good of a pick. And I don't know how many touchdowns are going to be available for the Steelers to score this season. So to me, like, I want running backs on sexier teams or that at least have sexier roles.
My gripe with Warren has always been the touchdowns. I had 20% Warren last year. We were talking with Sacrilegious last week. He kind of got me back in on Warren. He was injured last year, injured early in the season, multiple injuries. Last year, and this wasn't even part of Sack's argument, but I just know that last year Aaron Rodgers was dumping it off to Breece Hall a good amount. I think Warren is, the number one rated pass blocker in the entire league last season. That's what Hartman says, at least. And so I think there's some things that would point to, Warren will get a lot of the snaps. I had been playing it like too much on the Caleb Johnson side. And that's probably just me leaning into rookies and looking for like that big upside swing. Because I think we've seen what Warren can do, but maybe we just haven't seen like the best that he can do. Maybe this could be his career year. So I want to be more even on that. And I think Caleb might even be a little expensive when you have guys like Tony Pollard going after him.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing, right? Like the Tony Pollard comparison, like give me Tony Pollard over Caleb Johnson every day.
Yeah. Probably most of the time. Probably most of the time. Well, we did it. Let me hit the transition with some Caleb.
So be it. Smoke. So be it. You ain't solid, ain't valid, you ain't malice. Been quiet, ain't riot, you ain't Paris. Blow money, you owe money, we ain't balanced. You ain't believe, God did, you ain't Khaled. All black, back to back, this ain't traffic. Can't wrap your head round that, you ain't Arab. Y'all tweet, bird talk, we all parrots. Lone Star, cross the border, we like Dallas. 21, gun salute, we been savage. Tag 'em up, add 'em up, savage. Fly 'em in, fly 'em out, only the baddest. If I had her, then you had her, she never mattered. Wish upon the stars of my roof.
I mean, hey, he looks pretty good in black and gold. I think the Steelers figured that part out.
It was too easy. It was too easy for them.
It's way too easy.
Great song, great album, by the way.
Incredible. Bindles, the creative genius of the show, the good looks, the dynasty and best ball knowing. Your host. And Nez, our extra special guest. We did it. We drafted a banger of a team. We had our ballsy takes, and I was happy that we got your ballsy take of the week. Your player, Kyle Williams, on that team drafted. We'll mark it down. We'll follow that one throughout the season. And then in week 17, we'll watch, like Bindle said, McCaffrey go off against Roschon Johnson, of all people. We'll celebrate with the $2 million. We'll eat some pancakes. Yeah, that's how that one plays out. Super fun, man. Thanks so much for your time. I know you've been drafting a ton of teams, streaming a ton of drafts over there with the Badge Bros, but always a fun time to get to do this with you, and let the people know what you got going on, what's next, what you're doing tomorrow before you get out of here.
Yeah, tomorrow we are, I think, just doing more football since there isn't anything else going on. So Thursday football, Friday, we're back in the baseball streets. Thank God. Miss it so much. Miss my dailies. Miss having a sweat at night. So that'll be that. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Badge Bros, come over. We do a lot of battle royale content. That's kind of our thing. And then we do best ball drafts as well. And I'm doing a recap of my auto draft experiments. That'll be in a video on Saturday. So yeah, if you're curious to see what the hell I've been up to, come point and laugh at me on Saturday. It'll be up on the Badge Bros YouTube.
Some of the sharpest takes, in the whole Twitter space, in the whole ecosystem, from you and John. And I think anybody who watches can say they're always learning stuff from you guys, and you guys are not afraid to be ballsy to, make your takes and go against the grain, which I think we all respect. So yeah, thanks so much, Nez, for hopping on with us. And yeah, great to see you, and glad you're doing well.
You're the man, Bindles. You're gonna bring a tear to my eye. That was those are nice things that you said. So thank you, sir. And Candyman, brother, thank you for bringing me on here. You guys run a hell of a program. This is great quality stuff, and wishing you well this basketball season.
I appreciate that, brother. Bindles, always fun to chop it up with you as well. And we'll do it again real soon. This is a special Wednesday edition of Ballsy. Usually we're Monday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we've got something else cooking up. We're not ready to announce it yet, but Monday's coming quick. So Bindles and I will be back behind the scenes, and we'll get out to you soon. In the meantime, sub to Badge Bros.